Hello, we are the Geeks and Degenerates. I am Enzo, and this is my forever co-host, Jum. And as I said in the Harry Potter video, we'll be combining two things we love, especially for Drummer, which is comic books and fantasy. I say especially for Drummer because we're talking about his favorite, if not one of his favorite comic book characters, which is Hellboy. Hellboy 2 this time.
Oh yeah, the Golden Army. But yeah, anything that just has to do with like supernatural shit mixed in with like bureau espionage-esque things.
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah, I'm just a sucker for that shit.
Yeah, and again, this is directed by Guillermo del Toro. He was supposed to do movie number 3, but that never ever pushed through. And then we got the 2019 version, which is... I'm sorry.
Questionable.
I'm sorry, Seb, it's bad. I really am.
I mean, hey man, to each their own, you know?
Yeah. I know the character looks more comic book accurate, but like I would rather take Del Toro's style over, oh, it looks accurate. It's incoherent, but it's accurate. Like, what is that? What?
Yeah, like I would rather... Yeah, and I from what I've heard, is that like, for me, I didn't really notice that Guillermo del Toro's world doesn't really match Mike Mignola's world. And I'm like, I didn't really notice, but I'm still okay with it. It was still an interesting world.
Yeah, two very creative people would do very different styles, and Mike Mignola likes these movies. He's gave them his blessing. He also likes, I forgot if he likes the other one, but I don't think so. Or I think he has to acknowledge, like, oh, it's okay. But we are getting a reboot of Hellboy again sometime soon. So hopefully that pans out better than the 2019 version.
I don't mind what was his name?
David Harbour.
Dave Harbour as Hellboy. I don't mind him playing as him again. It's just that, you know, just change the script. Keep the theme. The theme's great. Just change the writing.
Just change the way they speak, please.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get right into it, and we see John Hurt as Professor Broom, telling the story of the Golden Army of King Balor, Prince Nuada, and Princess Nuala, and why the Golden Army was created, and why King Balor is like, you know what, this is not the best for the world. I'm gonna keep it forever.
Yeah, and like separates the crown into 3 pieces.
Yeah. And then Hellboy's like, oh, it's just a story, right? And Professor Broom's like, who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you get this cool scene at the auction house where people are auctioning.
Fuck, I hate this scene, but I love it at the same time, where people are... What was it? I don't know if it was a British museum. That would have been so funny if it was.
Oh, but, it's definitely American.
Yeah. Where they're auctioning off, like...
things that don't belong to them.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah.
And then Prince Nawada comes in with this, like, box that, like, opens up. And inside are these, like, insect things that are kind of cute. And I love the nickname for them. It was the Tooth Fairy. But knowing Guillermo del Toro and knowing Hellboy, the universe itself, it is not a nice thing.
You also meet Wink, which is this massive troll creature. Like, you see the style of dude. Like, goddamn, del Toro makes very visually pleasing movies, if not for nothing else.
He does. He really does. But yeah, like Prince Nawada releases the Tooth Fairies.
Yeah.
And they start like eating at people's teeth. I was like, they going into their mouths and shit. I was like,
they devour everything.
Just imagine like flying piranhas. That's what they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that whole scene where they just consume everybody in the room, and it's just disgusting.
Yeah, and then we go back to the BPRD, and then you find out that the agent from the last movie has moved to Antarctica. So I remember that, what he told me. I was like, all right, he did move away from the franchise.
Yeah.
You still get Manning. Yeah, you still get Manning and Doug Jones as Abe Sapien. And you find out Hellboy and Liz's relationship is kind of rocky or fiery. And you see like Liz on fire, blasting doors, and then you see Hellboy just nonchalantly like, oh hey guys, what's up?
Yeah. I don't know. Time has been spent, but mostly the whole drama thing I didn't really care about. Like
Between him and Liz.
Yeah, like I didn't really care. I was like, I just want to see more of the world.
But yeah, Agent Manny has a problem with Hellboy because he's not the best at being discreet. So when they're going off to the investigation, it's like, please, don't be seen. I have Cuban cigars for you. You can have them if you're not seen.
If you behave.
Yeah.
And is this the one where they go into like the seedy underbelly of like?
Oh no, they first
New York
go to where the two fairies ate everybody, and where Agent again discovers like, oh shit, Liz is pregnant. What did I do like the battle with the tooth fairies and they just devour everything? This movie is PG-13 and it's still disgusting when they're devouring the agents. Like, oh god.
Because like when like Abe is giving us like a whole exposition on these creatures, you see this thing like gnawing on a piece of like molar.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like it. But yeah, we do get a cool like how Hellboy would deal with like a swarm-esque kind of enemy.
Yeah.
And he uses like that big fat lady
To crush them.
statue to crush the majority of them.
Yeah. I like how the effect on his gun where he shoots it, you feel like the camera's moving from the force of his gun.
Oh fuck yeah. Oh fuck yeah. Oh, what do you call it again?
I forgot to call it. His Magnum.
Yeah. Because I remember he had a specific name. Like,
Yeah. Actually, no, I've read the comics a couple of times. But yeah, he gets blasted out by Liz, and Manning's worst nightmares reveals like, oh shit, everybody sees him. Why?
oh yeah, he like falls on the car and everybody's just like, hi.
Yeah. And then after that, going back to this underground place for where the elves hide, apparently. Prince Nuada goes there and he's met by Princess Nuala, and he tells us that like the Golden Army is mine. It's time we take back what's ours, and his dad refuses and he battles his King's Guard, and it is a bit shaky, but at the same time it's enough to see the action. You're like, this is good. This is good action.
I agree. Like it's a good. Prince Nuada's fucking unit of a man.
Yeah, right? Just takes
I love
out
his spear as well. Like when he stabs something, he could leave the piece in there and it'll like go into them.
Yeah.
Like slowly.
That's such a painful way to die too. You're like, oh, it's going so slow into my liver. Why? Like when he stabs his dad, the dad turns into like gold. You're like, oh, shit.
I would say like porcelain or something. I don't know.
Porcelain,
Like, he turns into marble and then he just like
collapses.
away. Yeah.
And you're like, alright, sister, now from the other piece, where did you go? Oh shit, okay.
By the way, we also do get a little bit of backstory between Princess Nuala and Princess Nuada where they are connected. Like hella connected. So if she's somewhere, Princess Nuada knows where she is. If she gets hurt, he gets hurt.
Like if he gets stabbed in the arm, she gets the same mark injury as he does. What the hell was that?
Oh, come on, man. I'm trying to get it done.
Was someone blowing their nose?
My brother sneezed off, guy.
And then going back to the BPRD, like they have to call in someone special to get Hellboy to get his shit together, and they call him Johann Strauss. Who's this? I like this character so much. He's funny.
Folkets.
Folk it. Suck my ectoplasm.
Who voiced him, by the way?
I forgot. He's not known. He's not known. Same with Nuada's actor and Nuala's actress. But like he brings the fairy back to life and he tells where he was found. Like, oh, I was found in the troll market, and that's when we get to see the underbelly where Hellboy tries to stop this woman from eating a cat and tries to like, where's the door? And when she refuses, he just decks her like 50 feet across. We're like, it might be
nightmare fuel. You remember seeing that cat, like where her mouth like just opens up like a snake?
He's like almost like a titan about to devour a poor corpse member. Like, oh god.
Yeah. Just like imagine Queen Elizabeth trying to eat something by unhinging her jaw.
Yeah, just like or oh god. I just lose it though when ever Hellboy's interrogating someone. Is like, you know what? Persuasion isn't working. I don't have enough stats for that. I will use force. Bam.
Yeah, and we do get like introduction to like their gadgets and shit, where they have like magical gadgets that they use to identify what's human or not, what's fairy or a specific kind of creature. And we do get to see like the old lady, and it's just this ugly looking white thing.
Yeah, it's like a stupid old troll. And then they go in, and like as Hellboy's slapping the shit out of other suspects, including the person who has like a tumor. And then Johan shows like, oh, I'm sorry about you and your kid. It's like, oh, I am not a baby. I am a tumor. Like, okay. Abe Sapien's like tailing Niwala to the safe where she's hiding the last piece, and she's like, why are you following me? He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. But you can sense like right off the bat, Abe's like, I have feelings for this person.
Yeah, we caught him lacking. I'm like, alright.
Yeah. He tries to defend her from Wink the troll, but you're like, you are out of your league, Abe. I'm sorry. Thankfully, Hellboy's there to save him, and it's a pretty cool fight between two beefy boys.
Yeah, and again, very creative, where Wink can actually eject his hand and then recall it back with the chain.
Yeah, he can just fucking roly-poly his arm. You're like, god damn.
Yeah. But we all know the most strongest thing in comic history is Hellboy's right hand.
Yeah.
It just demolishes his Full Metal Alchemist kind of arm.
Yeah. And you're like, I am in horror if he ever met Bucky Barnes from the MCU. He would shatter that arm like it was nothing.
Including Bucky.
And then he tricks the troll to throwing a punch, and he's crushed by this machine. You're like, again, it's PG-13, but you're like, how is this PG-13?
Kind of like how Pan's Labyrinth was kind of PG-13.
Oh yeah, it's funny because Doug Jones was the creature.
Yeah.
And that's on Disney Plus. We should do that one day.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in like 10 years.
Yeah, oh, me too. But yeah, after they escape to above ground, they see Prince Nuad, and it's like, you're gonna pay for what you did to my friend. And Hellboy's like, I don't have time for this. You're wasting my time. Do you want to fight or not? And then he throws this magic being that grows into an elemental. And again, you're just like, that's like I said from Harry Potter, the effects here. You're like, this is from 2008, and fucking Thor: Love and Thunder can't get it right with the CGI effects. Why? Why?
I don't know. I really don't. But this looks fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like, Hellboy does have a fight with it, but then we get that conflict of like the last of its species.
Yeah, and
Prince Nawada's like hitting him with like psychological warfare. I'm like,
why are you on their side? Why do you care so much if they like you? They'll never accept you. And in his mind, he's like, he has a point. But Johan shouts, it's like, Agent Hellboy, I demand you shoot it.
Shoot it right now. I love little, not little, but like German characters.
Yeah.
Strauss is one of those characters.
And then when he does kill it, you're like, I feel bad.
Yeah, but it has like this like beautiful effect. Like every time its blood would get splattered, it'll turn into like a garden. I was like, that is so beautiful. But yeah, as you said, Nawada is kind of like, he'll never accept you, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
And he saves the baby mid-fight. Kills the thing reluctantly, and then gives the baby back to his mom. And the mom's like, "What the fuck are you? Get away from my."
Yeah.
That's cementing the point of like, yeah, it doesn't matter how well I do or how many people I save, they're still not gonna accept me. Why?
Yeah. Also, every time Liz Sherman lights up, you're like, please don't kill everybody.
Yeah, just just don't nuke, please.
Yeah. You know what this movie also does well? Like, we'll go to the point of like when Hellboy and Abe are like thinking about love, and it's like this comic relief moment. Like they have a moment to breathe. I wish more comic book movies, one that fits the characters, had this. Like you don't really get a lot of that for like DC or Marvel. This moment where Abe Sim's like, I can't really cry or feel anything, but he can get drunk, and you're just like, oh, they're singing, can't smile without you. Or like, God damn, I love this.
It was a very bro moment where they're like, oh, Hellboy kind of like doesn't know what to do with Liz because he doesn't really know that she's actually pregnant.
Yeah.
Abe in love with Princess Nuwala when he's not supposed to.
Princess Nuwala.
Sorry.
Princess Nuwala.
Sorry to all the Fujoshis out there. It's not canon.
I also love the moment when Johan shouts like grilling Hellboy, like, you have a problem. I won't tell you what it is. And Hellboy's like, tell me what it is. Tell me what it is. It's your temper. You don't know how to control
temper. And then he like smashes and I was like, ah shit, we killed.
I think I can take you because of your bang. You're like, oh shit, did he just murder Johann Strauss?
I love Hellboy. He's like, wait. But of course, Strauss isn't just a man in a suit. He is like a corporeal-esque ghost mist thing that can manipulate objects around him. And he does own Hellboy.
Yeah. Like, see, your temper is the problem. He just walks away. And then we get the Can't Smile Without You segment. Like, again, I wish more comic book movies would do this. Because it feels like the characters are alive. They feel just so relatable.
Yeah.
To this point.
Like, it doesn't matter if they're a fish person or
the destroyer
demon
of worlds.
lord. Yeah, right.
But as they're enjoying their moment, you see Nuwater, since he can track Nuwala, is taking out guards left and right. And again, he's such a cool character. And he does find Nuwala, and Abe Sapien confronts him. He's like, oh, you really want to do this? And Hellboy's like, nah, I got this. And he's still drunk. And then Abe's like, if you hurt him, you hurt Nuwala. And he's like, are you fucking kidding me? And he tries his best.
We do get a solid scene, but Hellboy does lose.
Yeah. It's a sick scene when Nuwala's like, alright, Abe, here are the stakes. It's either you bring me your piece, or she dies and he dies. Make your decision. And Abe's like, oh fuck, what do I do?
Yeah. And they try to take the thing out, but every time they do, it like goes in deeper.
Yeah.
But bit by bit, by time, like it gets even deeper, closer to his heart. I was like, wow, the stakes are high now.
Yeah. Again, you were right the first time when we did Hellboy 1, where you're like, the second one is way better, because it is. I still do like the first one, but this one has more depth and character to it, I would think.
And no, the world building is way crazier than it was in Hellboy 1.
Yeah,
like we get the night market. We once we get to like that island with the giant in it, like the stone giant where they get passage into, we meet like this thing that kind of represented death.
Yeah,
and, like
the angel from Pinocchio.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Again, it's like the Bible thing where you expect this angel to be this beautiful, pure thing, but in reality, it probably looks at it. You're like, fear me not. You're like, how do I not fear you?
I was like, my eyes are up here, and you're like, which one?
Do not be afraid. I'll try.
I'm trying.
I also like how Johan Strauss is like, you know what? Fuck the orders. I'm coming with you. We'll save Hellboy. Yeah, I knew you were a Chad.
Yeah, Johann Strauss is a Chad, in my opinion. One of my favorite characters in the Guillermo del Toro Hellboy series.
Yeah, like, even though their styles don't really match or are very different, like, I feel that, like, that complements each other, though. Where, like, they're so distinct. Like, who else would you get to direct Hellboy other than Guillermo del Toro? If he's not a visionary director of that caliber, who else do you get? Steven Spielberg? No way.
I don't think it'll work that way.
Christopher Nolan? No, definitely not. So I do believe Guillermo del Toro has, for me at least, been the only choice to direct anything Hellboy.
Yeah, but I feel like if J.J. Abrams ever were to get his hands on it, maybe we might have a fun one.
Maybe. Or like whoever's directing the new one, I'll give him a shot, like I did for 2019. Because the director of that 2019 version directed The Descent, which I like very much. So I had high hopes, and then I saw the movie, and I was like, oh, what happened?
Yeah.
But yeah, we're not talking about that yet. Maybe we'll talk about it for Halloween. 2 choices made. Yeah. We'll match it with The Descent to help you with your sanity too.
Thank you. I like that movie.
Yeah. But yeah. I also love how the Angel of Death is like, you sure you want to rescue Hellboy? You do know he will one day destroy the world and you will suffer. And she's like, I'll have to live with it. You're like, shit.
Again, more moral dilemmas here.
Yeah.
Shoot the last living thing, this beautiful thing by its killing people, or save your boyfriend slash fiance. I don't know. Or but yeah, he'll destroy the world.
Yeah.
One day. And I'm like, they can choose.
And then you learn that the creature guiding them was the one that invented the Golden Army. It's like, please, destroy what we made. And the Golden Army looks good. For something that's so CGI based, like, they really spared no expense for this movie.
No, not at all. And it stuck to its theme.
Yeah.
Of like, I don't know.
Indestructible.
I don't know. No. The theme of the movie. Like, I think that's why the CGI did so well. Like, because like, they didn't try to like make it stand out too much. It was blending in with the background. It felt like it was there for 1,000 years, and like, I don't know. It for me, in my opinion, it didn't look like it was out of place. Like with a lot of CGI nowadays, where you would see something and you'd be like, "Oh, you don't look like you belong," but you're telling a story. Here, it looks like it belongs, and it's telling the story very well.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And the stakes are there too, because after Hellboy and Johann Strauss kick the shit out of them, they start repairing themselves. They're like, how do you win?
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, what the fuck? Because when you see like Hellboy dispatch a couple of them, you're like, oh, they're easy. They're just a lot. And I feel like Hellboy can take it. Nope. They fix themselves in whatever manner they were destroyed in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's kind of cool. I love it that Johann Strauss like ejects his like
ectoplasm
soul.
Yeah.
And goes into one of them.
Yeah. And that's not enough. So Hellboy's like, wait, I challenge you for the right to control the Golden Army. And he and Nuada have this pretty impressive fight where Hellboy is pretty much the brawler type, while Nuada is the aerobatic type. And you see how they try to best each other. And this time Hellboy knows the stakes involved. It's a pretty sick fight. I do love it very much so.
Yeah. But sadly, they kind of knew that there was only one option here, where Hellboy is losing. So Princess Nuala kind of has to make the big decision here. Is like, it's either this army destroys the world, or I could just end it right here.
Yeah,
she does.
Nuada tells him like, after Hellboy wins the first round, it's like, I'll just keep coming after you, and Hellboy's like, all right. It is what it is, but he is about to stab him, and Nuala stabs herself. And it's a pretty sad scene, because you're like, oh no, for Abe.
Yeah, Abe, sadly, couldn't do Shape of Water, too, so...
Goddamn. Nuada tells Hellboy, like, they'll never accept you, and you already know that. And, yeah, gives the stakes to Hellboy, and if we had a third movie, those words would probably be ringing in his ear at the beginning.
No, it's very it fits the theme of the ending here, because once they leave the cave, they defeated the army. They quit.
Yeah, I do love how Hellboy is like, all the power, and Liz is like, don't you fucking dare think about it.
Yeah, she burns it.
Yeah, and they all quit, and then that's when you get Johan being like, Agent Manning, suck my ectoplasm. You're like, damn.
Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we were supposed to get a third movie. Like that was like our cliffhanger, because you're like, oh shit, Liz is pregnant
with twins.
with twins. Hellboy's out of the job, so what's next?
Yeah. Fortunately, this movie didn't make that much money, and Guillermo del Toro asked to shoot you for a big price, and they're like, "Are you out of your mind? You didn't make a lot of money the first time for the second movie." They said no, essentially, and del Toro's like, "All right, I guess I'm out."
Yeah,
He was also
and then
supposed to do Justice League Dark, and Warner Brothers said no for some reason.
shame. That's a really big shame.
Yeah. Please let him do Swamp Thing. I'm begging.
Please, we don't want the guy who does Conjuring anymore. Let Guillermo del Toro do it. Sorry, but not.
You didn't like the Swamp Thing series?
It was like,
I haven't finished it, so we have to give final judgment. But yeah, yeah, it's a shame Del Toro never got to do a last movie because I would have liked it. It was coming up. It was supposed to be released like if they gave him the money 2017 or 2016, right?
yeah, for me as of now, like Ron Perlman is still my like pinnacle Hellboy. Like Dave Harbour is a really good Hellboy, but Ron Perlman is like my childhood.
Yeah. Every time I read a Hellboy comic, it's his voice.
Same here. Same here.
Yeah. All those words being said, what would you rate Hellboy and the Golden Army? Sorry, Hellboy and the Golden Army.
Yeah. Yeah, this one was a way better film compared to the first one. At some points, like, I did, like, just want them to get over with a whole drama where, like, I want them to get into the magical stuff, the action. But they were building up character. So I'd give a pass for that.
Yeah.
I can't find anything wrong with this movie. So, as a movie on its own, I'll give this one a 9 out of 10. Because it's such a fun movie. You can rewatch it. You get to enjoy the world that Guillermo del Toro is making. Honest thing though, if you look at Pan's Labyrinth and you look at Hellboy, it kind of feels like they're in the same world.
Yeah.
So I would like to think, maybe, but that's just me. But Hellboy, Ron Perlman, everybody did an amazing job. Nobody was kind of like that character, but like, oh, it's just a side character. It didn't feel that way. Wink didn't talk, but he still felt like
a threat.
Yeah, like he had the presence in the screen.
Yeah.
So, it's a 9 out of 10. I enjoyed this movie. I really hope Guillermo del Toro gets another chance to make a Hellboy movie. But knowing Ron Perlman's age, I don't know if he'll be up to the stunts. Not really sure, but yeah.
Even he's like, it's a shame he never got to complete this trilogy. And I agree. Yeah, I'll also give this a 9 out of 10. It's a very good movie. The effects still hold up all these years later. The story is pretty good. It's pretty deep too. And again, the fact that they had that whole "can't smile without you" segment, you're like, this gives such heart to the movie and to the character Hellboy and to Ape Sapien and to everybody who's made this movie. This just gives heart to it. And again, I keep reiterating it, but I wish more comic book movies had these small moments of breathing. Like few and far between comic book movies do this. Like maybe, if I can remember correctly, maybe Zack Snyder's Justice League definitely gave the characters moments of like breathing, of like, we need to quiet down before we battle Steppenwolf. But that's about it.
Yeah.
And same with Endgame. They had a few moments too of like, we need to think about what we're doing. But ever since then, it's been few and far between, and I miss that. And the story still holds up. Effects are amazing. What could you expect? Could you expect anything less from Del Toro? No. You expect the best of the best, creepy or amazing effects, practical or CGI otherwise. But yeah, both 9 out of 10. Yeah. We don't have to say it, but please, if you haven't seen this and you're watching this video for some reason, please watch it. But yeah, that has been a video on Hellboy 2, The Golden Army. If you want to see more of us on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. You can also find us on Spotify and TikTok. TikTok to see our best and funniest moments. Spotify to hear us on the go. Individually, you can find me at Gandalfus1995 on Twitter. How about you?
Oh, you can find me at JomGOM _ on Instagram. It's just my art account.
And we'll be wrapping up our fantasy theme with something we're familiar with a world that we're familiar with, definitely. So, until then, we'll see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.